Hi Girl Scouts! How's everybody doing today? My name's Rebecca and this is Alana, and we are here to bring you a little bit of kitchen chemistry. We're going to wait for everybody to get started, or we'll let some people in. We know we've got a lot of folks who registered for our cooking instruction lesson today. If you're just joining us, we are going to be making a salad dressing. We're going to be making like a honey vinaigrette salad dressing as part of our Brownie Home Scientist badge. So Alana, while we wait for everybody to get here, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself?
My name is Alana. I'm in 2nd grade going into 3rd grade. I'm a Girl Scout Brownie. This is my first year of Brownies. I do softball, and
Yeah. Softball and yeah. What's your favorite subject in school?
my favorite subject in school is science.
Science. We love science, which is so great that that everybody is going to join us today while we do some science experiment. Before we get started, you know, it would be really helpful if you are watching. Can you just type in the comment section your name and your grade, so we know who's here with us. Lots of folks were really interested. Lots of girls were really interested in this kitchen science experiment. I'm going to do something real quick though. I'm going to adjust the camera because it's driving me kind of crazy that it looks crooked, right? Do you see that? All right, let me see if I can adjust it just a little bit and get us maybe a little bit better. All right, so if you're just here, if you're just joining us, we are working on step 1 of the Brownie Home Scientist badge. This step is be a kitchen chemist, and there are a lot of different things that you can do to get this, to accomplish this step. So if you're new to Girl Scouts, welcome. We're really glad that you're here. Like Alana said, she is a
Brownie.
First year Brownie. That's where well, actually you just finished your first year, so you're gonna be.
Not finished it.
Well, I mean, technically the school year's over, but we're gonna keep meeting over the summer. Hopefully a lot of you that are Girl Scouts are gonna be continuing to meet with your troops over the summer too. Let's see. So as Alana mentioned, science is her favorite subject, and if you're just joining us, please just type in your name and what grade you're in, and we'll get started here in just a second. Lots of ways that you can earn this badge. What I think is really neat about the Girl Scout badges is that you really get to kind of choose your own adventure. So with the Brownie Home Scientist badge being one of them, we are working out of this book, Brownie Home Scientist, and there are 5 steps to get this badge. Yes?
Nana's watching.
Oh, Nana's watching. Good. Hi, Nana. 5 steps to get this. But what's really neat about this is that step 1, be a kitchen chemist, which is what we're going to do today. There are 3 choices. So one choice is to make a salad dressing. Another choice, which is what we're going to do today. Another choice is to grow rock candy. And oh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Well, look at what's the third choice?
Make your own ice cream.
Make your own ice
that.
cream. Yeah, so maybe when your troop meets again, we can see if other girls want to make ice cream so that they can earn this badge. The second step of this Brownie Home Science badge is to create static electricity. And there are 3 different options, 3 different activities you can do to earn the badge. We're also, step 3 is diving into density, which is a really important science lesson. Step 4 is to make something bubble up. And there are 3 options there. And then step 5 is to play with science. So you can make giant bubbles while you are earning your Brownie Home Scientist badge. So again, if you're just joining us, please just in the comments type in your name.
And grade.
Thank you, your name and your grade. With this, I know a lot of parents might be wondering, well, how can I get this handy dandy little home scientist activity book for my daughter to participate, or for my girl to participate? We got this one at La Tienda, which is our shop at Girl Scouts of New Mexico Trails, and it came in a kit that has, are you gonna model this for me? What are these badges that we could get?
Dancer, computer expert, my best self, and my family story.
So all 5 of those came in the pack together for us to work on. Either Alana can work on them while she's at home over the summer, or her troop can work on them together, which I think is what we're gonna do. So today we're gonna just get started with that step 1 of Brownie Home Scientist. Again, kitchen chemistry. But if this is something that you enjoy and that you're having fun with, great news. We have a very special guest who's gonna be making some videos for us at Girl Scouts of New Mexico Trails. Her name is Science Girl. Like, what a great profession is that? She gets to be Science Girl, and she does all kinds of fun experiments. And so she is going to help us demonstrate step 2 and step 4 for Brownie Home Chemistry. So, Brownie Home Scientist. So once you get those two other steps, then you're almost all the way done to getting your first brownie badge. Or maybe it's not your first, maybe you got like a lot of brownie badges. But if you're new, 50. If you're new to Girl Scouts, then we love having you here and want to encourage you to find out more about it. So what do you say we get started? Okay, and again, if you're just tuning in, tell us what your name and your grade is in the comments here. We've gone over the 5 steps for the badge. We've gone over where to get the kit at La Tienda. We've talked about Science Girl doing steps 2 and 4. Why don't we talk a little bit about science all around us? Why do you like science so much?
I like science so much because last year when I got into fractal science, I was jumping.
Tell them.
I was jumping around the kitchen, and then I was really hoping I got into science this year. And I got into the science, but since coronavirus happened, I didn't get to finish it. So, I've been trying to do more science while we're stuck at home.
Oh, yes, we have been trying to do more science. And if you like science, then tell us what some of your favorite science experiments are in the comments here, because we'd love to hear more about the things that you're doing with science from your house. So, in our kitchen, there's science everywhere. There's science in our car. There's science outside. In our kitchen. What are can you think of some examples of other science that happens in our kitchen?
Yes, I can think of 2 of them. One of them is a lemon volcano.
What's a lemon volcano?
A lemon volcano is where you take a lemon, you get some food coloring, like we have some green food coloring.
Food coloring, okay.
And then you take the food coloring, put it in the lemon, and then you get some vinegar oil or something like that, or vinegar, and the lemon explodes.
The lemon explodes?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't do that outside. But also, things like when you're baking bread. Does anybody in your house like to bake bread? Maybe you like to bake bread or muffins. I know I love muffins. That's science. When you mix those ingredients together and they form a different so they come together and they make something different at the end. That's science. When the yeast is moving and being activated, when you take all these different ingredients and then make it something else, cooking is all science. So are bubbles. When you take dish soap and water and you mix them together and you get bubbles. That's another example of science. So today in our kitchen chemistry lesson, we're going to make a salad dressing. Now, how many of you, do you know what happens when you mix oil and water? Does it mix really well?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
There are salad dressings that are just oil and water, like those are called vinaigrettes. And when they settle, they're separate. So I'll tell you what, let's try this. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil into this Tupperware container and a little bit of vinegar into the same container, and let's see what happens if they're gonna mix together or separate. What do you see in there?
I see bubbles.
You see bubbles? All right, let's see if we can get a way to look at this here. There's bubbles in there. Because they don't mix together really well, even if you shake, what happens? Can you see?
It won't mix. There's still a lot of bubbles in there.
Still a lot of bubbles. I see, and we maybe just have too much olive oil in here, but see how it separates? How there's the oil on the top?
I can see it.
And the vinegar on the bottom.
Yeah, there's white on the bottom and push the other one to the top.
Yeah, it doesn't, they don't play well together because they don't have what's called an emulsifier. Hold on, I unscrewed the lid. So let's just be careful before we end up with a real kitchen chemistry disaster. Can you put a couple drops of green food coloring in there? Let's start with 3 and see what happens. 1. I know you don't want it. You're worried. This is look at this. This is fascinating. So the olive oil and when we put the let's see. I'm trying to figure out how you can see this. You see, it's kind of like that black dot, that green dot that's in there.
It's like Jax's tongue.
Yeah.
It has a black tongue.
Oh, it does have a black dot. What do you think is going to happen when we mix it up?
I think it's gonna turn green.
Here, take it over there and show the camera. Hold it still. Do you think it will still separate?
Yes, I do.
Do you see it separating? Well, stop moving it. It won't separate if you keep moving it.
It separated.
Yep, there you go. Back it up just a little bit so we can see a little more. Oh, yeah, cool. I see a lot of people are talking about making slime. That is a great experiment to do from home. You like making slime too, don't you?
Yeah, I love slime.
Okay, so are you guys ready to get we've talked a little bit about oil. No, you can't put it in your room. We've talked a little bit about oil and vinegar and what happens with the 2 of them. But if you have something neutral, like an emulsifier, then if we add something that bonds them together, what do you think would happen? Do you think that they would still separate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think they'd still separate? I think that it's worth a shot to figure out if that emulsifier, like mustard, would actually...
I hate mustard.
Okay, would actually keep them together. So let's give it a try. I'm going to make mine the old-fashioned way with a whisk and a bowl. Alana is going to try hers differently, though, by using hold on, come over a little more, can you see? By using a little bit of a blender there. Are you going to unplug it? Yeah. Okay. So our ingredients that we need today are, we're going to need a teaspoon of mustard. I have a Dijon mustard. We also have a yellow mustard because if we're going to do it 2 different ways, we might as well see which mustard works best as an emulsifier. Again, an emulsifier is an ingredient that bonds things together, that keeps things together. So if you have 2 things that don't normally like to play well together, but if you being the friend to both girls, maybe, then you might be the emulsifier because you're keeping everybody playing together happily. What else? Let's see. So we've got our mustard. We need a tablespoon, so a bigger tablespoon of vinegar. This is a gigantic thing of vinegar, so I'm gonna pour that for you. Okay. And then we need a 1/2 cup of olive oil. I forgot to get the 1/2 cup out, so I'm gonna grab that real quick. Are you guys, are you doing this at home? Are you participating at home with us? You're telling everybody to comment? Yeah. I don't see a half, here's a 1/2 cup. So a 1/2 cup of olive oil, and then some salt and pepper. Do you wanna get some salt and pepper for me?
Yeah, where is
it's in the pantry. That just helps with the taste. And a medium-sized bowl and a whisk. This seems like it might not be good for me. I'm gonna get a different bowl, right? This probably is not medium-sized enough. All right, so I'll get a medium-sized bowl. If you haven't put your name and what grade you're in the comments, we'd love to see that. And also what science experiments or what science things you have been doing at home, or what you love about science. That would be really interesting to hear. If you just put in the comments what your favorite things are about science. So stay right there. I'm gonna get a bowl. Alana's getting the salt and pepper, and then we're gonna get ready for our experiment.
I don't see the pepper, Mom.
You don't see the pepper? Okay, we'll just grab the salt. Oh, the pepper's next to the salt. You can tell she doesn't get in there very often. It's okay. We can live without salt and pepper. Come on in so we can get started. Oh, what are you taking? What did you just put in your mouth?
Salt.
Ew, grody. Okay, so a little bit of salt and pepper too. All right, so we're gonna get started with a teaspoon of mustard. So do you wanna start? You're gonna put yours into this.
This one?
You wanna use this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Mustard on the floor. Do you want to squeeze?
No.
You want to hold it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll squeeze, you hold. Okay, there we go. A teaspoon of mustard.
Do we dump it?
Yeah. Dump it really well.
Okay.
See if we can move this
Do
here.
I have to eat this?
Do you have to eat it? No.
I don't want to eat mustard.
You don't have to eat mustard.
We don't
Mustard, it's part of, all good science parts are, what do they begin with? What does science begin with? What's the foundation of science everywhere? Questions. So science always starts with a question. What, where, who, when, or why? So what's a question that we're trying to figure out here?
Will it work?
Will it work? Will the mustard as the emulsifier keep the oil and vinegar working better together? That's our question. So I'm gonna put my mustard in there.
Yeah.
Then we need what's the next ingredient? Can you read that?
Tablespoon of vinegar.
Tablespoon of vinegar.
Mustard.
We're gonna do this first because it's so big. I don't want to spill it everywhere. So I'm gonna move it to a smaller container so that we have better control over our science experiment. So this is a tablespoon. It's bigger than a teaspoon. Do you want to pour it or do you want to hold the thing? Okay. Oh, be careful. Where are you going? Now, do you think in science, is it important to, can you do this over here? To have accurate measurements or just throw everything in there together?
Throw everything in there together.
No, you're
Okay,
gonna
mustard
need
is
to
disgusting.
do more science lessons if that's how you're gonna be a world famous scientist. No, it's very important that we not only keep track of our measurements and that we follow the instructions, but that we track things because something could have a different outcome depending on if we use more of one thing than another. So for instance, if we're using a teaspoon of mustard and a tablespoon of vinegar right now, but if we were gonna do this experiment all over again with a tablespoon and a half of vinegar, we might have a completely different outcome of our science experiment. So what is our next ingredient?
Salt and pepper.
Nope, we skipped a big one.
Cup of olive.
Okay, well before we do that, the instructions say we've got to put the mustard in the bowl and add the vinegar and whisk, whisk, whisk. Stop eating salt. So I'm gonna whisk this way and you are going to whisk over there. So here we go. We've got mustard and a little vinegar. Yes, try to shake it up. So I'm just gonna whisk, 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 whisk. And let's see what happens. So while we're whisking, we've got the mustard and the vinegar. All right, take that down and let's take a look at it, Alana. What happened? Oh, the mustard is still on the side. Hold on. Shake it up real good. Okay. You see that? Very liquidy. It's the mustard and the vinegar. So now we want to slowly add the oil while we continue to whisk. So that's going to be hard to do with yours, but I think this would be an interesting experiment. I will slowly whisk. Yeah. I will slowly whisk and we'll see what happens. And then you can, okay, I'm doing a half a cup of olive oil.
Disgusting.
Half a cup of olive oil. So I'm gonna slowly whisk and see what happens. Do you want to, oh my gosh, look at that.
Wow, it looks like the yellow galaxy I've always imagined in my head.
A yellow galaxy that you've imagined in your head. Hold on, I'm gonna get a glass bowl so that we can all see this together.
Mustard tastes disgusting. I tried it today.
Your comments about mustard are not necessarily necessary for this experiment. Okay, here we go. So when I pour that back in here, this would have been a better plan all along, huh? If I would have used a clear bowl so that you could see what happens. So when I whisk the olive oil,
Yellow galaxy.
it does look like
A yellow galaxy.
a yellow galaxy
That I always imagined.
that you've always imagined. All right, can you see?
My yellow galaxy.
It's really hard to see, but what's happened here is that the mustard has made little, like in little balls, and it is holding everything together. The mustard is keeping the oil and the vinegar together, and it's making other bigger balls. If you are making this at home, I saw somebody added mine's lighter, a light brown. Tell us what you're noticing in your experiment. If it's working the way that you thought it would. Let's see what happens with yours as you're gonna put them all together. Stop. Lana, that is disgusting.
Eggshell. My name's Eggs.
Okay. Oh, look at that. When I just poured the olive oil in, it's gonna be hard to tell.
Bubbles.
But you can see, oh man, that's hard. Before we whisk it, whoops, that didn't go well. But you can see that it's separated, and inside here, there's so many, I wonder if we can pour it in here, if you can see how that works. Oh yeah, this may be better.
The bubbles, the bubbles, the bubbles.
Maybe. Oh, look, can you see the bubbles?
Yeah, Mom, it totally separated.
Uh-huh, and there's one gigantic bubble in the middle here.
Wait, can I see it, Mommy? You didn't see the gigantic bubble.
Okay, take that one dry. So you've got mustard, and so what was completely mixed together, we put the oil in there, and it forced the vinegar inside the mustard balls.
The mustard balls.
I know, I wish I could figure out a better way to show you this. Oh, I got an idea, Okay, let's do this. Look at that. So can you see the, all of the vinegar has been captured inside the mustard. Absolutely crazy. All right, so let's see if we can get right back up now, and then we'll finish up this experiment. Let's see, does that work? Nope. Here we go, sorry. Stand by for technical difficulties. Okay, so we've got our vinaigrette here. What's the last thing we need to do? A little bit of salt and pepper?
Yeah.
Little salt and pepper, we don't have any pepper.
I'll go find it.
Do you want to now take yours and put it in the, kitchen, the magic bullet?
I'm fine. Is the black pepper okay?
Sure, black pepper is perfect.
Okay.
Wow, that is so
Can
cool.
I see it? Can I see it? Can I see it?
It really is like a galaxy. All right, oh, that's a lot of pepper. I think you're just supposed to put like a little dash in. Okay. There we go.
Okay. That looks disgusting.
All right, so Alana's going to mix hers together in the magic bullet. The instructions say that you're supposed to whisk it together slowly, but we thought it would be a fun experiment to try this way. As you continue to mix, you see that those bubbles come back. All right, how is it? I think it's done. It's gonna be very peppery because she put lots of pepper in there. All right, are you ready to try our thing?
Try it.
Look closely. Our dressing is no longer a mixture.
Ew. Ew.
It's tiny bubbles floating
Can I see it?
in the vinegar.
Is it good?
Mmm. I think it might need a little something sweeter. It's very bitter, like mustard. But we're not going to get into that right now. But this was a great experiment. It was a great experiment. I wouldn't say that I made a great salad dressing, but it was a great experiment. So what did you...
Something sweet.
Something sweet. No, we're not putting a Hershey Kiss in there.
You said something sweet.
Okay, what did you learn?
I learned in this that vinegar and olive oil will separate, because I didn't know that. So I learned that, and I learned if you put mustard and olive oil together, it would make bubbles.
Yeah, that was really cool. If you were just watching and you weren't participating along, then try to do that if you get a chance. Get an adult to come with you, and just even try that with the mustard and the vinegar, and then what happens when you add the olive oil. Because the mustard and the vinegar alone were completely mixed. It was like one thing, and then you put the olive oil in, and all of it turned into big bubbles. So absolutely fascinating. And like Alana said, what did it look like?
It looked like a yellow galaxy.
A yellow galaxy. So that is the conclusion of our first step in being a kitchen chemist. Like I said, there are different activities you can do to continue to earn your Brownie Home Scientist badge. Again, we got this Brownie Home Scientist badge from La Tienda, the shop at Girl Scouts of New Mexico Trails. You can also order them online at girlscouts.org. Ours came in a kit with 4 other activities. And so parents, if you're looking for things for your girls to do where they can earn badges, where are you going? She just ditched me. For your girls to earn other badges, they can do these either with their troop, or they can do them from home, and then earn lots of stuff. And then if you just you want to come to the shop, you can pick up badges because we are open now 8:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock. Or if you want to call ahead, we can have them ready for you curbside. Where do you have you have the kit together, the Brownie badge activity set. So thank you so much for participating with us. Again, Science Girl is going to do videos for steps 2 and 4 for Brownie Home Scientist. Those are going to be on our Facebook page here and on our website next week. So we're really excited about that. And we want to thank Science Girl for putting that all together. Also, if you're interested in learning more about Girl Scouts or joining Girl Scouts, we'd love to have you. You can find all of that information, or have an adult find all of that information on our website, nmgirlscouts.org. It's a great time to join Girl Scouts because we have virtual camps. So you can do camps from home. And we also have great activities where we will mail you supplies and then lead you through the activity. Where are you going with that? Oh, you're doing that again. That's what, just the oil, water, and food coloring. Fascinating. All right. Well, that's it. That's all she wrote. We are one step down to getting that Brownie Home Scientist badge. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Rebecca, and this is
Alana.
And we hope we'll see you again soon. Stay safe and healthy.
Bye.